the indefensible. You can't defend the ANC today and not look stupid. You can't. You can't.
A 300 million drug bust that broke all the rules. A traffic chief bankrolled by an underworld informant. A mysterious text message to the late deputy president offering a black market arsenal. Police ministers accepting cash in grocery bags, and a criminal cartel buying political protection by bankrolling the ruling party's highest office. This is in Hollywood script. This is the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, and over the past few days, the dark machinery connecting South Africa's underworld to its political elite has been dragged into the light.
Because they act as if we are not fine, we're disturbed. This country is a comedy. We've passed a movie. It's a circus. It reminds me of our days in primary school, of Michael Boswell when we were taken to watch a circus. This is a circus.
We start at the warehouse in Aeroton, south of Johannesburg, July 2021. 750 kilograms of cocaine are intercepted. But the real story is in the drugs, but the cops who found them. Enters Gauteng Traffic Police Chief Inspector Samuel Mashaba, and the man who pulled the strings, the controversial businessman and alleged police informant, which is Tumelo. Who is Tumelo? According to the testimonies from the Hawks Lieutenant Colonel Sebula, Nku wasn't just an informant, he was an active participant in the cartel supply chain. Cell phone tower data tracked Nku traveling from Durban to Johannesburg right along the massive 300 million cocaine shipment. While following the drugs, Nku's phone was pinging in an unidentified cartel boss known as Alpha. Digital forensics pulled this terrifying encrypted messages from Nku's device. Can you get the pics of the container and seal? The longer you take with it, the more nervous they get. And I'm telling you, we are going to get into big SHT if we don't get this stuff today. We've made a lot of promises and not delivered. Those are the words of Mr. Nku.
Analysis of the location data associated with Tumelo Nku's cellular telephone indicated that on 2021-05-21 to 2021-05-22, the device was in the same vicinity in Durban. The date corresponds with the cellular telephone communication in which requests were made and the photo of the photograph and the container. The communication attributed to an individual identified as Alpha. 12. Further analysis of the extracted data revealed that on 2021-05-25, a screenshot was found in which the individual identified as Alpha requested Tumelo Nku to pick him up, and analysis of cellular telephone record and associated cellular tower data for Tumelo Nku's device indicated that on the same day, the device was located in the vicinity of Bedfordview.
If you read that, you might think that, no, it's just a message. It doesn't mean anything. It's very innocent. But which promises have they've made before? And why didn't they deliver those promises? Because it looks like this Nku informant is really entangled in really, really dangerous things. And I'm happy that next week is going to appear at the Madlanga Commission, because we want to know what are these promises and these deliveries that they've done before. Has he ever been involved in other instances of these substances that he has now been named as an informant? But it looks like there's a lot that this Mr. Nku is involved in. Under massive pressure from the cartel, Nku called his handler Chief Mashaba.
Yes, you can continue.
Analysis of the cellular data records revealed communication and contact information indicated that Tumelo Nku and Samuel Mashaba were acquainted with one another. The record reflects the interactions between the two individuals date back to 2019.
Giving him a tip-off, but the Madlanga argues this wasn't a blast. It was an orchestrated heist. Mashaba completely bypassed official subs channels and descended on the warehouse.
Being prepared to act on a statement that merely says the truck is now in Johannesburg would make sense only if you already knew, you yourself already knew that this truck contained whatever it is that you were interested in. Otherwise, there's simply no logic in saying, I was told that the truck was now in Johannesburg. That meant that the information I wanted had been established.
Mashaba and his associates allegedly claimed they were part of a non-existent crime intelligence hawks unit to take over the scene, attempting to load the 300 million in cocaine into a private Nissan Bheki before the real hawks arrived and physically blocked them. Imagine the audacity.
They say, and you see that in 145 of the same bundle, they say Mashaba and Mokhane introduced themselves as crime intelligence. Were you aware of that?
No, I'm not, Commissioner.
Now, can you blame a crime intelligence general for going to the scene when he is told that there are people who are impersonating crime intelligence and conducting a drug bust in Aeroton? Now that you know those facts, can you blame a crime intelligence general for going to a crime scene if there's information received that there are people impersonating crime intelligence who are conducting a drug operation?
No, Commissioner.
On the other hand, Justice Madlanga corners Mashaba. Why was a senior traffic chief taking orders from a cartel-linked civilian? The digital transaction answers the question. The WhatsApp logs revealed a relationship dating back to 2019. Mashaba admits Nku regularly boosted him with cash. The messages show them discussing off-the-book side hustle. Mashaba's defense is that he tells the commission, if I was really doing something wrong, I'll not leave the paper trail like this. But the paper trail is exactly what damns him.
Well, for money, yes. He gave me money.
Why? Why are you receiving money from him?
Maybe as a friend.
Thought he
Not
wasn't
that-
really a friend.
Sorry?
I thought he wasn't a friend. I suggested that he was a friend. You said he wasn't a friend.
I said he's a contact.
Yes.
So I'm saying, okay, maybe if I say as a friend, I would mean as my contact.
In one text, Mashaba urges Nku to hurry up. We need to get back to work. Responsibilities are piling up.
Needed to know, what side gigs did you do with Nku in 2019?
Side hustle.
Yes, side hustle.
Seriously, well,
Let me tell you why I'm asking you this. When the question was put to you that it was a side hustle you and Nku were doing, you agreed. So my follow-up question is, what side hustles did you do with him in 2019? Let's limit it to that period.
well, to be honest with you, commissioners, Nku, maybe I didn't put it nice at the beginning. He would be very much helpful to me. He would help me, he would assist me with a lot of things. So,
Financially?
Financially, yes. Not official.
Yes.
Not official. For an example, maybe let me say I'm renovating at home. I would maybe cry to him and say, hey, can you please assist? I'm lacking. Not necessarily that we were busy with some dealings. No, he would be helpful in that sense.
Sometimes you don't leave the paper trail because you think that you won't be caught, or you think that because you are not hiding anything. You leave the paper trail because you know that it was even said by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi and even our on-leave National Police Commissioner that you delete they retrieve. So what's the need of deleting when obviously somewhere, somehow, they will retrieve when they take your phones? So if the chats were there, you spoke to them, they were going to find you. Either way, you are going to be busted. So it's not about the fact that, no, if I didn't want to be found, I would have deleted everything. But because, there's nothing to hide, I didn't delete, that argument falls off, especially with the information that we know that actually they can retrieve even if you delete. So there's no need to delete from the way I see things. It then now starting to make sense why Mr. Mashaba was actually not willing to come to the Madlanga Commission. He first said that he's sick and that he can't appear. He wants to appear in camera. And he also said that he can give his testimony in public, but he does not want to be seen because he is sick. And that plan didn't work. And all of it is starting to make sense as to why he wanted to take that particular approach.
There, in so many words, you refer to his bosses. Do you accept that at that time, I'm not asking about now, at that time, you must have known something about his bosses? Let me read this. Well, I'll bring back your dignity to your bosses. You could not have written about his bosses if at that time you did not know something about them. Do you follow me?
I get you, Chair.
So do you accept that at that time, let's forget about what you know now or do not know now, at that time you knew something about his bosses? Otherwise, what you wrote there would not have made sense whatsoever. So do you accept that at that time you knew something about his bosses?
I wouldn't agree because anything with cell phones, it's possible. So at that time, maybe because
yes,
we were, if it's really me, if we were talking about that, those bosses and the dignity, at that time, if it's me.
So you're saying anything, you just said anything is possible about phones, and you've added to that that if it is you, you said speaking or maybe writing. So are you now suggesting that it may well be that the content of the chats has been tampered with? Is that the suggestion you are making now?
Is that possibility?
Faced with the evidence, Mashaba retreated to a familiar, frustrating refrain. We know this refrain. He shifted in his chair, glanced away, and repeatedly insists that he doesn't know or cannot remember the details because 2019 was a long time ago.
I totally I'm lost.
You don't recall any of your conversations with him between 2019 and 2021? Nothing? With Mr. Nku?
I don't remember us doing anything.
This is a tactical, systematic amnesia that the Commission has seen time and time again. It's the exact same script used by the suspended Deputy National Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya when grilled over compromised dockets.
I wouldn't know about that one.
The same tactical blank slate used by a cartel-coordinated Mogotsi.
To all the answers, I'm not going to incriminate myself.
And echoed by Sergeant Faninkosi when caught red-handed with the Matlala's credit card.
I cannot comment on that.
When the evidence is undeniable, the state's most powerful official all suddenly develop the exact same medical condition. They simply can't recall. But the paper trail doesn't forget. Another Nku's text explains why they need to get to generate so much cash. Let's work so we can look after Faith Mazibuko. She's now our MEC. Those are the words of Mr. Mashaba.
I am very close. I was very close that time to the MEC because I was ill-treated all the time. I knew when she's back, the treatment will be better. I knew for the fact.
Okay, but what is the reference of let us work? I want us to look after Faith. The two of you must look after Faith by working. Working on what? Your side hustle.
Yes.
So that you can look after her by doing what for her?
There will be ways of talking to a person sourcing money. Not necessarily mean I'm saying, give me money, I want to look after this person.
Gauteng MEC Faith Mazibuko, a politician with a history of collapsing state departments under hundreds of millions in irregular expenditure. Why would a corrupt traffic officer and a cartel operative need to look after a powerful MEC? Because political cover is expensive.
Audio recording of a meeting between Gauteng MEC for Sport and Recreation, Faith Mazibuko, and her staff has raised eyebrows. In the clip, the MEC is allegedly heard pressuring her staff to fast-track the delivery of sporting facilities to communities. She says she wants projects completed before the May elections, allegedly in contravention of tender protocols.
But Nku wasn't just dropping the MEC name. The digital forensic geolocates his chats, placing Nku directly inside Luthuli House, the ANC's national headquarters. These messages show how Nku used the ruling party's headquarters as a strong ground to negotiate protection for his illicit operation. For men like Mashaba and Nku, having ANC in their corner wasn't just politics. It was a business investment.
I've just done with my meeting. I'm going to spend the day in Luthuli. Will be available anytime from 6 p.m. So, Luthuli, what is that in reference to?
Luthuli's ANC house.
The political connection didn't stop at the provincial level. They went all the way to the top. The commission revealed another WhatsApp chat between Mashaba and Nku, dating back to around May 2019. They are celebrating. The message states DD is back, which means they can finally move on with our issue and unlock a formidable financial future. When pressed on who DD is, Mashaba lied under oath. He claimed DD was just a nickname Nku used for his uncle, the late Kebi Mabatsu.
DD is Tumsa's uncle.
Whose uncle?
Tumelo's uncle.
And who is he?
He passed away.
Can you give me his name?
Kebi Mabatsu.
The commission instantly destroyed this alibi. Kebi Mabatsu was not in parliament in May 2019. You know who was reappointed in May 2019? Is none other than David D.D. Mabuza, the late Deputy President of South Africa.
The D.D. referring to is Deputy President Mabuza, the late Deputy President. Do you accept that?
The person I was referring to?
Yes.
Well, I'll have to accept.
This connects perfectly to another compromised officer at the commission, which is Witness F. Evidence leaders pulled a separate WhatsApp thread from Witness F phone. The contact is explicitly saved as Comrade D.D. Mabuza, Deputy President. We know Witness F is Fanikosi. So these are some of the conversations we saw, the text messages that we saw during Fanikosi's testimony. Hey brother, do you have a market for a packed CQC? Close quarter combat, 12 gauge shotgun. I have access to 750 units in knockdown components, form, at a family price. Witness F sweared he was actually texting Mabuza's nephew. Advocate Sesibali returned all of that into him.
Sibiya Mabuza, and then you say your explanation is they wanted to import. Who are they?
I was referring to Sibiya Mabuza when I say they, because I know that he's a businessman. Obviously, he's not alone. So that's why I was saying they.
So He's a businessman in the business of selling guns.
No, Commissioner.
Why do you say you know he's a businessman and obviously you knew he wasn't alone? Who is he in business with? That you would
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
Let me finish. Let me finish, Witness F. You say they, and you've explained that they is Mr. Mabuza and business because you know he's a business person. You know him to be in business with whom that you would have thought they were seeking to import these guns?
I don't know, Commissioner.
As a sworn officer, Witness F was offered 750 black market tactical shotguns. Instead of making an arrest, he texted back that he wanted to see and test the weapons. Yeah, and so far, before I can go further, you can see the trail. ANC members are always implicated. And I'm not talking about just lay members like Mogotsi, who just have the membership with the ANC. I'm talking about leaders, former ministers, former deputy presidents of South Africa. Those are the higher echelons in our leadership. That's who I'm talking about, to understand the influence of the cartel and this thing that is called political interference. How does it all connect? The answer lies with the big Five Cartel and the man named Vusimuzi Matlala. To understand Matlala's absolute power, we need to listen to Witness, a senior crime intelligence operative currently under the state protection. Witness played automatic audio recordings proving that political figures tried to force him to lie under oath to protect Vusimuzi Matlala and Senzo Mchunu with regards to the disbandment of the PKTT. And also from Witness E, we also heard how Senzo Mchunu played a very big role in the investigations of Sindiso Magaqa and wanted Witness E to actually inform him about every investigation that the police are undergoing to show that actually there is some form of political interference.
In 27, my assessment of the minister's calls is that dating from the 7th of December, which was our first communication, they have increased progressively and are getting more and more after the 6th of July 2025 press briefing by General Mkwanazi. 28, on the second week
Witness
of
E.
September, the minister...
Witness E, please wait. Before you go to
Yes,
before you go to paragraph 28, at that paragraph 26 where the minister says to you you should come and testify before the commission, did he say what it is that he wanted you to come and testify to?
At that time and in that call, he did not specify what is it, but later on, he did say that he wants me to come and testify about the unlicensed firearms and the stolen cars that were bought by crime intelligence that were used in the killing of Magaqa and other ANC councillors.
And did you ask or did he explain why that was relevant to the commission to hear?
He has never explained it to me, Chair. Up until today, he has never explained.
If you still are confused as to why are we delving into these ANC officials, it's because that is what Mr. Mangena's testimony is actually looking at and exposing to us as the public, that we are dealing with serious political interference of the ANC, that the members of the ANC keep on coming and their names keep on being mentioned. Are you telling me that it's all a mistake and a coincidence? Why is the ANC catching itself in this crossfire of this corruption of the cartel and what we call the state capture? The commission has uncovered a chilling quid pro quo where the nation's top ministers were allegedly on the syndicate's payroll. Take, for example, the former Minister of Police, Bheki Cele. Testifying from Hoshimampuru prison, Matlala dropped a bombshell. He paid Cele 300,000 in cash, handed over in the Woolworths grocery bags at Matlala's Pretoria apartment. 300,000 is not the only amount There's other amounts that he gave Mr. Bheki Cele, which then amounted to a total of 500,000. And what was the prize? It was calling off raids against the cartel.
In terms of your relationship with Minister Bheki Cele, why, explain this to me, I mean, we've heard your different theories today, but why would any legitimate businessman, as you call yourself, hand over R500,000 rand in cash to a, let's call him an ex-government official, if it's not a bribe? I know the Honorable Breitenbach touched on it, but explain to me in one sentence why would any legitimate businessman do that?
Because I was under very serious harassment from the same police.
Then there is the suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu as well. The commission heard that Mchunu abruptly disbanded the highly effective National Political Unaliving Task Team, the very unit haunting the cartel. Why? It's because Matlala's associates were allegedly fooling thousands of friends into Mchunu's secret ANC presidential campaign.
Makes payments to Mr. Mogotsi directly, sometimes for expenses related to the African National Congress events, and in particular for the benefit of delegates of such events who are apparently linked to the Minister Mchunu through the Chief of Staff, Mr. Nkabinde, in the office of the Minister.
I would say between 150 and 200,000.
For the January ANC, January 8th.
Yes.
And as you said, you promised us that you even have the names as well of those who travel, which you paid for their traveling arrangements. Am I right?
Yes.
You say this won't change my contribution towards the minister. This is your text to him on the 31st at 11:40. I made a conscious decision to support the minister. What did you mean by that?
Like I'm saying again that I was trying to string him along because they said I must entertain him. So I told him that it's fine, I will help you, because according to him, he said we must send him money, because the money, according to Brown, I'm not saying the minister said that, according to Brown, the money was going to the minister. So Mr. Cele said that it's okay, tell him what you need to tell him so that we can end up getting to the minister. So I sent him this message.
And the rot allegedly reaches the top. The cartel network ties directly to Hangwan Maumel, the turned-up tycoon implicated in the massive Tembisa hospital scandal. Despite public outrage, ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa has faced accusation of actively shielding Maumel. Ramaphosa claimed he barely knew the entrepreneur, only for inquiry to expose deep historical ties to Hangwan Maumela's parents. Through associates, Matlala bankrolled major ANC political events. In exchange, the politicians dismantled the very political task team built to haunt Matlala down, awarded his companies 350 million in state tender, and protected his network from the ground level all the way to the presidency. Mangena has made me realize how corrupt the ANC is. It makes me remember the clip that I played in the beginning of this video by Mcebo Dlamini, who said that you cannot defend the ANC and not look stupid, because the ANC, guys, is entangled, as I've said, from the president to David Mabuza, the late deputy president, to the ministers themselves. We have seen how entangled they are with the cartel. And it's not a coincidence that it's the ANC that is so much entangled in this whole thing. It gets to prove to you that the rot is so deeper, especially with these political parties that we keep on voting for as South Africans.
So I put to you for your comment that the appearances here is you are part of a criminal network, and you may possibly still be part of a criminal network that is involved in off the books. In fact, let me not call it off the books subs operations, because it's as if it is subs operations. You are involved in unlawful activities. You personally, with Ms. Tenku, who, from the WhatsApp messages that we have seen, is involved in activities that involve drug trafficking. You are involved in involving other police officers in unlawful activities at Mr. Nku's instance and funded by Mr. Nku. All of that, I want to say to you, suggests or gives appearances that you are part of a criminal network.
A cartel operative organizing a false police raid to steal 300 million in cocaine. A traffic chief looking after a corrupt MEC. The police informer negotiating black market arms deal with the deputy president's inner circle. Police ministers accepting cash in grocery bags, and an untouchable cartel funding the ruling party. The Madlanga Commission isn't just exposing a few bad apple. It's literally pulling back the curtains on the state that was brought and paid for. And the inquiry is far from being over. Nonetheless, guys, let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear what you think about these revelations. Do not forget to like this video, share, and subscribe to it. Tell your friends, to tell your family, to tell everybody around you that I am on YouTube. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on my next upload. Bye.